Hi, I'm Bridget Ely, A Bridge for Truth. Kentucky is a magical place, and one of the reasons it's such a special place is because of the thoroughbred horses and the horse racing industry. Here in Kentucky, we don't just have wealthy people involved in the horse industry. We have middle class people who are making a living. They work very hard. They deserve to be able to survive in the industry that they love and care for the animals that they love. But there's a threat. It's called HISA, and middle class people say these regulations are going to make it impossible for them to continue with their way of life. At a recent hearing with the head of HISA and state level racing officials, horsemen and women expressed their deep concerns. The woman in red and black is Lisa Lazarus, the CEO of HISA.
There should have been a input from a trainer, jockey, and veterinarian community into these things going in, and there really wasn't. This bill, we feel, on its own would have never passed through Congress if it hadn't been stuck into that COVID relief bill. We never got a chance to debate it at all.
They can be fined for if the jockeys use the crop too many times, if they give the wrong therapy. And they say that they're not against the anti-doping aspect of the HISA. It's the idea that the government is going to be looking in and checking on every little tiny thing they do. And they say that it's going to increase the cost so much that it's going to force many people out.
The continuation of this stuff is going to create an elite racing, a small number of racetracks, and only the aristocrats and the very wealthy people are going to be involved in this game. And maybe that's what they want.
So once again, the government is putting a stranglehold on the states and saying that you cannot make a living, you can't have a profitable industry if you don't follow these rules, and these rules amount to government control, once again in the name of safety. And it's not only the threat of extra and excessive expenses due to these new regulations, it's also the threat of search and seizure. And people are afraid that they're going to lose not only their equine property, but perhaps even their land, which may be the most expensive and valuable land in Kentucky. HISA stands for the Horse Racing Integrity and Safety Authority, and their enforcement arm is called the National Center for Drug-Free Sport. And the two entities do have a contract, but guess what? It's a secret contract. We're not allowed to see it. The people who raise the horses and who are in the horse industry are not allowed to see it. They just have to follow the rules.
I guess you all entered into a contract with Drug-Free Sport International. They're the new USADA for horse racing. Is that contract available for us to inspect or to look at? Is there transparency there?
No, that's a private contract.
What happened to transparency? I thought that HISA was that's one thing we were told, everything was going to be transparent. We're going to see how the sausage was made.
Well, I mean, I don't think those were my words. What I said was that the budget will be absolutely public.
Remember when Congress was working on passing Obamacare and everyone said, "What's in the legislation?" And they said, "Well, we need to pass it to find out." We get a similar thing with HISA.
It is not a good thing for racing. Thank you.
I mean, I can only say that that's definitely not our intention. I understand, your sentiments, and you certainly can have the right to feel them, and we'll have to see in another year or so.
So we're seeing government overreach not only in the schools, in the hospitals, in many workplaces. Now it's hit our beautiful thoroughbred horse industry. So if we lose the middle class in the racing industry, we'll lose that flavor of real people involved in this industry, people that love the horses, that are on the ground level handling them, watching them be born, taking care of them as they grow old. These are regular people that love these animals, and they don't want to be pushed out, and I sure don't want them pushed out, and I know you don't either. That's why we need to be aware every time we see a situation of government overreach and stick up for each other, because who knows what job will be next? Who knows what way of life will be destroyed next?